So we are out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not exactly sure where, but this is Cedar Point Cemetery. Google calls it Whirl Cemetery. The cemetery was established in 1898. So this marker kind of caught Sarah's eye, and it says Adamson, married October 31st, 1990, and there's these checkered flags on there. And I'm not sure what that 05 and then 50 is. This is Donald Carl. July 26, 1959 to September 25th, 2004. There's a horse right here in the center with Tammy on the other side, but this horse has the nickname Jake, I guess. On the back side, it's interesting because it says Donald and Tammy Adamson, parents of Stephanie Bugg. There's an old like 1970s car of some sort and a motorcycle. Right beside it is this government marker though. Here we have Tommy G. Adkins, Petty Officer 3rd Class, United States Navy, Vietnam. October 7th, 1940 to September 22nd, 2004. And this is a really old looking one right here. And the last name is Moore, M-O-O-R-E. And it's Maud, the daughter of. 1871 to 1900 for that one. There are some older ones in here. This is really tall and thin. It's in good shape though as far as the actual marker. I think it says Matthews. And it is very difficult to read the date on there. I think it says 1899, yeah. 1890 to 1899. It's a decent sized cemetery for out in the middle of nowhere. Marriott Lillian, wife of R.I. Marriott, November 5th, 1884 to November 17th, 1915. That one's in good shape. Looks like it had maybe a recent addition with the base on there. And some kind of critter has made a home in there. Maybe an armadillo or something like that. I don't know. This is Dunn as the last name. 1865 to 1910. Mary Line, wife of L.P. Dunn. Melinda Masters, 1830 to 1909. Erman Albert Dunn, United States Army, World War II, 1913 to 1984. So we have several members of the Dunn family right here. That's 1883 to 1931. Here's an infant son of Mr. and Mrs. William E. Dunn, and that's William right there. Look at this one. This is a nice one. Hugendorn, I guess if I'm saying that correctly. It's quite a last name. Albertha, wife of G. Hugendorn, born March 27th, 1839 and died February 1st, 1906. Age 66 years old. And you can see the language down there. I'm not sure if this is German or something else. Baby girl of F.E. and Edna Scheel, 1917, lived 3 days. This is a John F. Scheel, 1852 to 1927. And this is John Samuel and Alice Athens. John Samuel was born and died on November 20th, 1912, and Alice Athens born and died on July 11th, 1914. And they are the children of J.C. and Alice Teeters. There's quite a few graves in here, and they are spaced apart in between, so it's another one of those cemeteries where it makes you wonder who is in between. Joseph N. Souther, and this is Souther right here, these two. 1852 to 1921, but you can see the spaces in between them. as you go across. And here we have Conklin. David C., 1827 to 1910, and Floyd C., 1872 to 1909. Rycroft right over here, these two markers right here. And like I said, Google was trying to say that this was the Worrell Cemetery. And this is the spelling of what I was saying, W-O-R-R-E-L-L. You can see 1863 to 1951 for Philip on the right. They were married. And this is Ellen G. Conklin. And that's part of this family right here, so it makes sense that they're next to each other. Ellen was 1875 to 1960. Married February 14th, 1898. And you have Mildred Worrell Richardson. And it says United States Air Force. Doesn't look like she has passed or anything. David R. Worrell, 1901, December 10th to March 3rd, 1989. So this old marker right here, at the very top it says GAR, Grand Army of the Republic, and you can see sort of a medal there. 61 to 65, dates of the Civil War. Henry Hinkle died September 4th, 1901, age 72 years. Down at the bottom you can see the Grand Army of the Republic Veteran Medallion that's been placed there. There's also an inscription there that Sarah's going to read.
It says, "A precious one from us has gone, a voice we loved is stilled. A place is vacant in our home, which never can be filled."
It's pretty neat. That is an old marker right there in very good shape. So definitely, probably someone that settled here. And then here's the wife of Henry Hinkle, Lucinda. And it says at the top, "In my father's house, there are many mansions." And she looks like, what is that, July 10th, 1831? Is that what it looks like it says?
She was 1829.
1829, okay. And then she died March 16th, 1909. And she was a kind and something. What does that bottom part say? It's very difficult to read. It's hard to read on that bottom. So this is Charles Hinkle, and it's very difficult to read. But he was, he died in April of 1911. And then this is his wife right here, Alice. And it looks like she was born in 1866 and died in 1907, in March of 1907. And then their child right here, this marker is a lot easier to read, Rhetty F. And he died January 26, 1903, aged 7 years, 5 months, and 11 days. Pretty neat to see this Hinkle family right here, though. This is Clifford C. Henry, Oklahoma Coxswain, U.S. Navy, World War II. May 19th, 1919 to May 2nd, 1969. And then we have a Renner right beside there with last name Henry, Winnie M. Henry Renner. May 26, 1898 to July 9th, 1971. This is Presley D., son of C.L. Edith Frazier, and died November 16th, 1900, age 7 years old. This one says, "Our loving mother, Trixie Mayetta Branham, August 23rd, 1906 to May 30th, 1979. Great looking photo of her right there. And then right beside her are these homemade looking markers. James Eugene Henderson, May 6, 1966 to May 10th, 1989. Then we have Lori Ann Henderson Jones, December 24th, 1964 to June 7th, 2012. Last name is Slay on this. Is obviously a fisherman. Mac, 1943 to 2007. And they were married for 42 years. Kay is 1950 to 2009. This is Clifton Henderson, private in the U.S. Army, 1945 to 1998. There's another government marker right here. Frederick T. Walker, corporal in the U.S. Army, Korea, June 28, 1929 to April 26, 1994. And then right beside it is a newer one, Denzi Walker, 1926 to 2018. So Sarah pointed me over to this marker here. It's the largest one in the cemetery, and it's extremely nice. This is Ethan Terrell Davis. And at the top, you can see a photo right there where he's in all the cowboy getup. You can see the chaps and the bull rider rigging right through there. Ethan Terrell Davis, sunrise March 31st, 1991, and sunset February 15th, 2012. Not sure what happened to him. It says Davis, established 1923. A little Bible verse down there from Revelations. He has his dog right here. I assume this is his dog, Emma. It's a border collie. Over on this side, you can see a depiction of him actually riding a bull. Pretty neat to see that. It's quite a photo, especially on a memorial marker. And down below, there's the cowboy's prayer. And then as you walk around to this side is his horse Copper. And then a little bit of Chris Ledoux's song right here on the side of the marker. Down at the bottom, he might have been an avid deer hunter because there's a big old buck. And then on this side, it says survived by his parents. And then his siblings right through there. And then it says the Booty Bandits, whatever that is. But there's also this makeshift cross right here. And there's an arrow going through this cowbell with barbed wire. A couple little lanterns and a horse with him kind of kneeling down. A lot of flowers. Really is quite the memorial area right here. And I have to say, that marker is really impressive. Might be interesting to look up and see how he died, what happened, especially since he's a bull rider. So right beside Ethan is this one right here, and it does have a funeral home marker, although you can't see anything. All these flowers look like they've probably been placed here within the last year, and these are solar lights right here, a tractor and some daisies. But then there's this little mound right here, and it just says wolf on the top. So I assume it's a dog, and I don't know if it is Emma right there or not. So this is Caroline M., wife of Albert Barnes, born April 5th, 1872, and died February 27th, 1896. It's a young one. Look at this old marker that's right over here. Cannot see anything on it at all. Homemade looking. You can make out sort of a C and a U or something. It's not legible at all. It's kind of a foot marker there. Like I said, it's not a big cemetery, but it's still pretty neat to walk through. Not sure if the Whirls were the first ones buried in here or not. This is the last name Roach. Julia, and born July 14th, 1872, and died February 19th, 1902. John W. Davis, died January 23rd, 1895, aged 27 years. And this cedar tree has just about completely died. But underneath is W.C. Cheek, 1861 to 1947. Rachel, daughter of W.C. and N.A. Cheek, 1898 to 1899. And then we have several markers here where they've kind of laid down and they've mowed around it so they couldn't do any more damage. This is the last name Dickens, 1899 to 1900. But yeah, there's a marker that's kind of busted right there that they know about. A couple that are sticking up in through there. So they've mowed around. Otherwise, the cemetery has been well taken care of. Dickens, no names or anything on this side, but kind of looks like an old church window. Jaster Coupe Rider, Company H, 55th Indiana Infantry. So this is John Harold Cook, United States Air Force, World War II, March 17th, 1924 to December 1st, 1981. And Sarah was just pointing out one right over here that she found. Theodore W. Dahl, California private in the 752nd Military Police Battalion, World War II, November 13th, 1902 to January 6th, 1954. This is daughter of B.B. and L.L. Cotton, died November 16th, 1909, aged 3 days. And right in front of her is Clyde Morton, Oklahoma sergeant in the 327th Base Unit, Army Air Force, World War II, November 9th, 1902 to June 27th, 1967. Pretty interesting cemetery. Kind of just a country one. John Wilbur, son of J.A. and M.A. Morton, 1900 to 1903. And then there's a Bessie right here. The S's are backwards. Looks like 1890. It's kind of hard to read a little bit. There's a border around this one. One little marker in it. I would bet that there's other family inside there. William C. Childers, 1899 to 1917. You can see also E.C. Childers on the border here. And then lot 133, or maybe it just says 13, but it looks like there's another number after that. A lot of room in this cemetery, so there definitely could be some in between. That is sort of a oil and gas area with a cell communication tower there, solar panels, because there is nothing out here. Just a bunch of wind. Cow pastures and grain fields. Right over there, way off in the distance, is the city of Watanga. Not much out here. One home over there, a mobile home. But otherwise, there's nothing around here really. A lot of little country graves out here. Interesting to walk through though. So that's going to do it for this little cemetery tour of Cedar Point or Worrell Cemetery. Not sure which one it is. Maybe it's just referred to as both. As always, I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you guys next time.